I think we can all agree that the first half of the season has been pretty much a roaring success. Second in our Conference League group, third in the league so far, pretty much ticking all the boxes for the things we wanted to achieve in the first half of the season. Now then, we come to the difficult winter period where you haven't got a game for like 2.5 months, but the board, depending on what they're like, because we really don't know yet, will have the opportunity to potentially sell some of the really good players we've already started developing. I sense today is going to be a case of us just trying to hold on. If you have been enjoying the series up to this point, though, do drop a like on the video. That would be bloody fantastic. Really have appreciated the support on the series so far, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. So, today, bit of a weird one. We're not actually going to do this game as a proper live com or anything like that, because it's just the game against Schuld in, and I know I'm butchering the name, but I'm doing my best, in the Cup. They're a third-tier side. We should expect to get comfortably through. I wouldn't mind having a little Cup run this year as well, but not if it interferes with our action in Europe. Now, we will have European action today as well, because I think one of the first games we actually play back is the first leg against Lille. So I really do think Europe is going to be our biggest focus today, because we don't have any games until February. We've got, well, let me just show you the situation. We have £5.5 million in the bank. We're in a good shape as far as financials go. The downside is that because of some of those wage increases that we had, the finances have taken a bit of a knock. As you can see, we're minus £6,000 a week on wage budget. And you know when you put yourself in a position like that, that it gives the board free rein, and honestly, rightly so, to do some mad shit. I'm hoping that they don't start getting trigger happy with some of our players once the January transfer window opens for the big European sides. So I think, as I said before, it's going to be a case of holding on. We move. No idea how this is going to be structured. I guess we're going to find out on the fly. So we did get through in the Cup. Just barely, by the skin of our teeth. Not exactly what I wanted out of a performance like this. We were battering them, obviously. They then took the lead with their first attack of the game. We then got a red card through Terry Rothwell, who decided, yeah, I'm going to just 2-foot someone right after half-time. Luckily, JP popped up with a pair of goals in the 57th and 60th minute. Another couple for him. Nice to see the bit of confidence returning to JP, although he did hit the post from about 6 inches out at one point in the middle of the goal. That's another story, though. But we do get the win. We do go through. A little bit of an underperformance still, and that is still a bit of a concern of mine. But just getting some wins and some goals for our strikers is just nice to see. Now we can hopefully go into the winter with our heads held high and, well, hold on to our players, hopefully. Seems unlikely we're going to be signing any ourselves, but we move. Well. If it isn't something that's going to disappoint us in 3 months. This is kind of fascinating. It's not as good as the Youth Intake preview we had last year, but I must admit, it still looks pretty solid. At least one goalkeeper is a great prospect, a top prospect in the central midfield, which is nice, an attacking mid, and a striker. Wow, it's almost like they're all 3 positions that we use. I mean, who doesn't use a goalkeeper? Side note, Preben Storley, his contract expires in like 2 weeks. He's our sort of auxiliary left back. He's on £3.5 grand a week. Every time I try to extend it, and I have just tried again, he wants £7.5 grand a week. Obviously, I can't afford to give him £7.5 grand a week, nor would I even if I could afford to. So I feel like we're going to be down a player after Christmas anyway, which is a bit of a shame. And I don't really, I mean, maybe by getting his wages off the bill, it might allow us a little bit of freed up cash to maybe sign a replacement, but it's going to be tough when we have no wage budget available at the moment. It's a shame I can't sell him to someone, but not going to happen, unfortunately. Maybe keep him on week to week until he moves. Holy cup luck, Batman. That's the second round in a row that we've been drawn against the only side from the lowest division that has remained in the Cup. So we got AB in the Cup. Wow. I mean, that's basically a bye to the semi-final at this rate. This is fantastic news. I'm going to say no, but I expect we're going to have problems here. We're also, there's bids in for Jose Matos too, who is 33 and is on £5 grand a week. And he's the kind of guy that I might actually try and cash in on because of probably the last chance we get to get any money from him. One talk with Constantine, and at least the Bede's happy to stay. Honestly, keeping a Bede is actually more of an important task for me than Jose Matos, because the Bede is only 25 years old. We can deal with his contract. He's still got 6 months to go. Matos, I think, is a similar story, but I think cashing in on Matos now for the money might not be the worst thing in the world, given that he is 33, and we could probably get like $500,000, and that might actually free up enough money for us to replace him. So there's this keeper, Ronnie Schursburg. Plays for Midtjylland. He's being released in 6 months, but I'm going to try and pick him up on a free transfer because he's 22 years old, has great aerial reach. He's trained in Denmark, obviously at Midtjylland, not us, but still nice to have another Danish player in there. Good reflexes, he's fairly tall, has low eccentricity, things I like in a goalkeeper. He's still fairly young, and I feel like there's still something to this guy, and I think we could pick him up relatively cheap on a free transfer. I don't think he's the worst idea to have someone to be the backup to Corone once Solberg leaves. I think he'd be a really solid backup to, even though he's older than him, and he looks like he'd be prepared to take an emergency backup contract. Now, I do wonder if that potential ability is a lie, but still, I think it's worth a punt on a free. And you can see that the problems continue here, because we've got some contracts that are up in the summer too, including Ilsa and Gorda as well. And, I mean, look at the contracts. 6.5 grand, 4.5 grand on these guys. This is... I don't think we'll be able to extend these contracts. That's the problem. I don't think we'll be able to actually extend them. We can try and see if we can give I think we're in a real pickle with these guys because they're on such huge... Ilsa's on 6.5 grand a week here. Abid is on 3.9k a week, right? Let's just see what he wants, shall we? Let's just see what he wants. £7,500 a week. I just can't. That's doubling his wages just to keep him here. I imagine it'd be a very similar story with the likes of Ilsa. So he's on 6.5k a week. He wants 10,500. We can technically offer it, but what would we be doing giving him 10,500 pounds a week? He wants 7.5 grand a week. I can't offer these guys those contracts. I just simply can't. Ronnie Schussbu joining us. 1.4k a week he's going to be on. He's actually taking a pay cut to join us at the end of the season. That won't be till July, of course. But I feel like, honestly, for a free transfer, that's the kind of signing I want to be able to make. I want to find more guys like this. Well, I'm a massive idiot. Imagine that, me, massive idiot. So, yeah, we had those bids for Matos. Not huge, particularly large bids there from Tondela and Boavista, except for the part that then I said that, you know, I'll let you go if a better bid comes in. He says how much? I say 700 grand. He says quality. Next day, clubs can put bids in them for free. Now, the one bonus we could have is if he does agree one of these deals, maybe we could sell into them immediately, get the wages off the bill quicker, and maybe get a little bit of cash up front. But that is very up for debate. That's going to be a problem, I suspect. Oh, and in other news, of course, Pritchard, Carlson, Solberg, Johansson, Nielsen, and obviously Lundorf, all their contracts expire at the end of the year as well. And I don't know if we're going to have enough money to extend the contract to someone like Pritchard or Carlson. But I think that's later Matt's problem. We can work on that once we know where we stand as far as Europe and our finances at the end of the season, I suspect. Before we get the rollover point, obviously, where they can start talking to other clubs. Because my suspicion is, with someone like Pritchard, £9,000 a week, if I try to offer him a new deal, 12 grand a week, I think we can revisit that later in the season because there might actually be room to make that happen. But if we did do that, I would be expecting a 4 to 5 year contract. I wouldn't be signing him on a £12,000 a week contract. Actually, if I can get him on £12,000 a week, I might do it, but only if I can get like a 4.5 year contract out of him. Okay. Really, really odd. Just offered him a massive bonus if we win the cup, and that was what that convinced him. Do you know what? If we can tie Pritchard down for a long-term deal like that, where that is essentially 4 years at £12,000 a week, that I actually would be willing to do at the moment. It is still a bump up on his current wage, but I think it ties down a really solid striker for a decent whack of change, and would allow us, you know, resale value a little bit, rather than having to constantly worry about extending his deal. Because I do think he's worth it, particularly with those pros. But I was just worried about the finances situation. But it looks like we're going to earn this money back in a minute anyway. Still not fantastic, though. And just in the space of the last, well, month since we talked at the start of the video, already down another £500,000. Possibly more than that, actually, in terms of the overall balance. So you can see how tenuous this could get. Okay, so Matos has agreed to join Alverca in Portugal. Now, I mean, look at the contract they're giving him. Jesus, are you mad? Okay, can we sell him now, though, and how much for? If they actually take this, they declined. Damn it. 150? 150,000. You know what? I'm actually happy to do that because we get rid of him, which was going to happen anyway. We get 150,000 up front now, which we can offset some of those wages, and we get £5,000 off the wage bill. It does still cause us problems with depth in the midfield, which we already had problems in, but I think it's the best of a bad situation. Get the 150 grand, shift all that money around a little bit, and try to free up some cash, but this is getting really tight now. Actually, I say that, but upon him leaving, and I think someone else, Storley's contract is now off the table too, we actually now have a bit of wage budget, so we could manage to sign a young replacement, should we find one. And finding one is going to be tough still. There's this chap here, Alcini Silla. Plays for Horoya AC, who I believe are a Guinean side. He's got good physical. His physicals aren't great. His mentals are solid. Good first touch. Great passing, actually. Tackling, again, is kind of trash. As a central midfielder on attack, he can kind of cover both roles. He'd be probably fairly cheap, i.e. affordable for us, which is an issue, which is not a big deal. The wages, I don't think it would be too much. We'd have to check. But provided they're less than what Matos was on, I think he might be an ideal replacement, even if it's just a short-term solution, because I think we can make profit on the deal, if nothing else, but with a long-term contract. Okay, so I've agreed a deal that's 60k up front, 75 after 50 league appearances. Again, I'm betting on the future a tiny bit here, but I feel like for £60,000 up front, it allows us a little bit more wiggle room with the money we've got, to still have some money left over potentially to actually spend on another player, because we're going to need to, because obviously he wouldn't be counted as homegrown or anything like that. We just need someone, and he'd actually accept impact sub status, so that could even get it lower. Oh, that's quite high. That's not high. That's not low at all, and it's a short-term deal, and I'm not doing that. Okay, so I've had to throw in quite a big goal bonus, but I think it's unlikely he gets 15 a season. It's the same wage, but it does at least give us the long-term stability on it, and I think if I'm going to have a higher wage, I want them on a long-term deal, if nothing else. But we've just had a bid from FC Copenhagen for Benjamin Boylisson Plough, a player that I've barely played since we took over the club, who, because he's a winger and we don't really have a use for him, if I could get him off the bill quickly, doesn't save us much in wages, but the money could be useful. Wow, I just tried to bump it up by £10,000, and that was too much for them. I really should have just taken it. I'm hoping they'll come back in. Okay, so John Diaz is here on a free transfer. He's better than I thought he was, honestly. He may only be 6 foot tall, but he's got 15 jumping range. His heading is trash, but we're going to get him working on his aerials. The other thing about him is he technically could cover in the centre of midfield as well. He can kind of just do anything, and that's useful as hell for us. He's 19 years old, free transfer on barely no money. He was the guy that we signed back in the summer and has now joined us. But he wasn't rated as highly as that before, as far as I know, so I think we might have lucked out with him. Resolute personality. I like him. I like him a lot. So that's just a bit of a bonus transfer for us, I suppose. Odds of putting a bid for Isak Solberg. We're actually fine with that. It's, oh god, what the hell? Improved offer for Silla required. What? We agreed the offer. We have agreed it. The contract is already on the what? Okay, more on that in a minute. So yeah, we could get 250 grand here for Solberg. And we are going to get the other goalkeeper in, so that'll be fine. Would like to propose some modifications to the contract terms previously discussed. Has what he sees as a better offer on the table. From who? From literally who? Okay, what does he want then? So he wants 4.7k a week. So it's an extra £700 a week, but if you got rid of Solberg, that's fine. Take it. But don't you ask for any more, though? That's the first time that's ever happened to me, actually. Okay, so they have agreed it. I think the reason was because there was a bid on the table for £250,000 from another side, and we've just got him for 60. And that was up front as well. I think it was Vosterus. We had to wait 18 days to find out if he's going to join us. God, these work permits, man. How do you live in Denmark? Okay, so Solberg's gone, which means that we do at least have a little bit more cash in the bank now, which is good, because that's going to be what will hopefully allow us to pay for the Silla deal when this hopefully actually goes through. But I don't understand where all the money went. We didn't spend any of the money, so where did our transfer budget go? The wage budget went down a little bit, but we had like 80 grand in the wage budget, in the transfer budget a minute ago. Okay, it's finally happened. Alasini Silla will join us. Contract's a bit absurd, but we needed someone in here. Hopefully his value is going to be worth more than the 60k we've just paid. So, moment of truth, I guess. I still think he's a good player, and I think if we're losing Jose Matos, having someone like Alasini Silla does make sense, even if the wage was a bit higher than I would have liked, but he does have a good personality. I do like his mental attributes, and he's got great first touch and passing, and his vision's not bad either. He could kind of do a job in either of these positions, to be fair. So I actually do kind of like him, in fairness. I think he'll slot in quite nicely into this team. I think this will adjust after he plays a few games for us. There's no way he's worth as little as that, honestly. He's an international as well. So that Boilers and Plough guy that FC Copenhagen were going to give us 200 grand for has just agreed a contract to go to Hells. I've screwed up a lot of these this window. Let's see if they'll accept any money. Oh, actually, surely not. Surely not. I think we could... Ooh, I don't know. Do you reckon? I've gone down to 70,000 and they're still saying no. What about one single English pound? I guess it was just too much to give. They've literally walked up to the training ground and just given me a single pound's worth of Danish kroner. We got a pound, friends. We got a pound. Transfer master here. Sure, we could have had 200 grand 3 weeks ago, but we've got a pound now. And you know what they say? A pound now is worth way more than 200 grand was 2 weeks ago. It's an old Danish proverb. And we technically do still have 4k available in the wage budget and £65,000 in transfer budget available were we to find a good free transfer or a loan or something that pops up at some point. Most likely a free transfer. Not being funny, right? But Frankie Williams, also of the New Saints, is available for, I think, as low as £10,000. And I've just had a look and I don't think he'd want that much money. Another player, admittedly, but I just feel like there's money to be made on a player like this. I don't know what's going on with the New Saints and how they're able to keep these players. It feels like he was at Liverpool. They've just managed to somehow pick up a lot of free transfers from Premier League sides and been able to keep them for an extended period of time while they were really good. It's really strange that that's been allowed to happen in this save. Weird, but I like it. Oh, he has a release clause of 13,000 quid. We have to at 13 grand, surely. No matter how much his wages are, even if they're okay, no, if they're above like 6,000 or something, then if they're above the amount of money we have available, then no, basically. Could I get him on a regular starter? I could. Okay, 5. Okay, we can work with that. Any caps? No Wales caps. That's very, very important. Because he's 27. No, Matt, don't go down this road again. Because you know that the moment I sign him, he'll get a Wales call up. So we probably could do an international clause, but we need to be careful with it. And we need to go longer here. It's 4.9. It does have a wage rise, but it's not a like 10 grand wage rise like some of the other ones. And it's a long-term deal. Now, he wouldn't be able to join us until the summer anyway. So... yeah, pretty lovely that. A 4-0 victory in the cup, exactly what we needed through to the semis. It's only a second tier side, but it's nice to come back from the winter break to warm up with a cup match like this and get some of the guys firing, which is exactly what happened. Carlson with a goal, or two of them rather, Silla in there and Jalonen too, but also Silla got an assist as well. He looks excellent on the ball. Plus, with him being so heavily left-footed, it means that he can sit on the left of our midfield and he looks super-duper comfortable on the ball, firing passes around, getting forward from time to time. I actually think he could be a real important factor, having properly footed players in our centre of midfield. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Corona also did a pretty solid job himself too. Really looking very good. Now, of course, we have Lille next, and this is where things, we shift away from the transfer business of this episode and move over towards the two very important matches today against Lille. We also have a Viborg game in the middle, I think, as well, but the two matches against Lille are what we're really focusing going on? Well, fancy seeing you here. It's time for Europa Conference League action. We host Lille today. This is really our focus. It feels like if we could get through this tie, then there's a real chance of us actually going quite deep. When you look at the other teams involved, the only ones that really scare me, as far as I feel like we'd have a real tough time against, would be Basel, potentially, and Benfica. Benfica, for me, surely have to be the favourites for this, other than Lille. As for who we play today, well, let's find out. Assistant wants to shuffle a few little things around there. I'm definitely not doing that. Silla is starting. He was great in that first game. I really like their pairing of him and Yalanen there for the moment, so I really don't want to change that. Clotti on the left. Ilsa had a slight knock from the last game, so he's actually okay, but Abid is now back. De Belder, Turnison, and Jokanovic in there as well, which allows John Diaz a little rest, but that's fine too. I think he's really, really solid. So, all in all, I really like this lineup, and I think it should give us a really good chance today, hopefully. And I think the bench does look a tiny little bit better. We'll definitely have Nielsen on the bench there instead of the greyed out keeper. Their squad does look annoyingly good. I'm legit worried that we might not be enough here, but we've done well in Europe last year. This team has got some quality in it. I think that Silla could be a game changer for us. I don't know. It's a lot of, like, regens, obviously. They've got a guy called Pie and a guy called Brum. It's the car from the TV show. I mean, I joke, but man actually does. Kevin Brum. He's absolutely rapid, potentially. And then speed it up whenever we feel like it. Look at the space they're allowing in the middle again. Silla's able to sit on the ball, fires it out for Abid on the right-hand side now. Now we can finally get some bodies forward. Pritchard dropping deep. Back for Abid. Back inside. Abula, it's a wasteful effort. Fires it all the way across. That should be too deep for... Yeah, oh, no! Oh, Daouda Keita, 1-0 Lille. That was, unfortunately, that was on Sylvain Caron. The header wasn't particularly dangerous, and he's parried it straight back to him. Lille appeared to be super patient as well. We might actually have to up our line of engagement a little bit, just try to put more pressure on them. But Pritchard's finally found a little bit of room in behind here. Not got a lot of support, though, currently. I have to just hold this up and see if he can win a foul, perhaps. Ball in. Carlson to the back post! Oh, very close, actually. I'm just pushing us up to try and squeeze them a little bit. I don't want them to be able to pass the ball too freely around in their own defensive area. Tabarez, ball comes through for Lille now. It's a good save from Caron. We're going to have to rely on him a bit today. The idea is we're going to try and sit on them a little bit further up the pitch and then try to force them into those long passes to hopefully win the ball back a bit easier. And then, or we win the ball in their final third, which would be very useful for us on the counter. We will take the risk of a higher pushed up defense, of course, but it's only one notch. Into the space for Abid, for Pritchard. Great for touch. Oh, it's an easy foul. Are you kidding me? He's just... Hi, referee. Oh, wait. No, it has actually been stopped. Wow, that was super weird. Yeah, the play just seemed to continue for ages. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen a delayed foul like that. Surely this is a dead cert penalty. We've just potentially been gifted a way back into this match. Is this a Boulay from the spot to potentially take this? It is. Georges Boulay, massive goal chance for us now, and it slams it home. Suriuska 1, Lille 1, Georges Boulay, only his third goal of the season, but bloody hell, that is a super duper important goal. Gets us back in this at 1-1. Now we have to push. Well, half-time, fairly even, of course, because of the penalty. We've not been fantastic, but we certainly seem to have stymied Lille a little bit more since I pushed the defensive line and the line of engagement up together. The reason I don't want to just push the line of engagement up by itself and keep the defense is because otherwise you end up with this massive gap in the midfield that's actually, if anything, easier to play through, and I'd rather squeeze them a bit. Boulay can have a little long way. Oh, Silla. Surely not. Oh, it's a good chance, actually, for Alessina Silla. He maybe could have done better with that. We probably had the better at the start of the second half. What a ball. Abid has to find the right pass, though, to the byline. Pulls it back, maybe? Oh, he just overplayed it, I think. Yalanen, Abid, Carlson cleared away. Silla with room. Finally a bit of room on the ball. Carlson dropping deep. Look at the space for Clouty. Absolute acres for... Oh, surely Terry couldn't get his first goal here. If Terry Clouty could score, but he can't. Just need to find that ball. Back for Silla. Tons of room. Back for Clouty for some reason. Whips it through. Oh, it's cleared. Carlson, back for Clouty again. Could he... Oh, he's going to get this cleared, isn't he? Or at least a corner, maybe ball across. And it's Yalanen, and it's blocked this time. And cleared out for a corner. What on earth? We should have a goal here. I think going to France and winning is going to be a massive ask for these guys, particularly with the fact that we've got a league game in between. Whereas this time we didn't have a league game or anything to worry about. So there we go. Suniuska 1, Lille 1. Honestly, I think we were unlucky not to win. Half-time was dead even, but we really did take it on in the second half. Some great opportunities in there. And if it wasn't for the Caron mistake and maybe a bit of bad finishing from us, but again, that's the thing. You can see it again. We're not scoring enough goals compared to the chances we're getting, and it's cost us. God, it's hot in here, friends. In other news, Breidablik just beat Benfica. Iceland are not doing that well in this save, I should stress. They're still 43rd on the coefficient charts, and yet Breidablik are 1-0 up against Benfica. Boulay scored against Lille. Can he do it here? No, he can't, and that is really, really bad. He'll keep the ball in play, though. Oh, no, he won't. Never mind. That could be a big miss. Doing a nice job at playing through the lines, though. We've really pushed them up here. Lindstrom, big tackle on him. I don't know how he's escaped that. Oscar Lindstrom's through. Great angle, great finish. Oscar Lindstrom, fantastic work there. 7 minutes in, 1-0, 14 goals for him. Our strikers are all into double figures this season. That's actually very impressive. Apart from Bergie. Good block. Oh, no! Not him again. Thomas Nordic once again is the recipient and the beneficiary of a mistake against them. Like he was the guy that scored the goal after the terrible mistake last time. Nordic around the side again. Oh, now we've given away a penalty. We've not had, I don't think Corona saved a single penalty for us since he's become our goalkeeper so far, which, you know, I'm so used to Johansson saving mad ones, but Corona's yet to do that in our goal. And now he saved the penalty. Oh, I manifested it. Oscar Lindstrom into space. He's gone around the keeper. He's had to hold this up, and that's fine. Pulls it back for Rothwell. Yes! Terry Rothwell. Sunioska 2. Viborg 1. We're back in front in this absolute roller coaster of a match that we must win. Carlson's the one making a run behind. Can he shake off the defender? He actually has, and he's scored. It's 3-1 to Sunioska. Wow. I did not expect Carlson to come off the bench and then score a goal on the break like that, but well played. 3-1. That's a huge win if we get it. Nielsen now, clipping one up. Carlson's header, and it's 4. Christopher Carlson and Sebastian Nielsen teaming up off the bench to make it 4-1. That's their 11th straight defeat, honestly, in the league for Viborg, but still, it's been nothing but tight. We take his man on, and he does again, and Rothwell's in there. It's 5-1. What is going on in this match? This is one of the weirdest games I've had in ages. 5-1 Sunioska, Rothwell again. Well, that game was utterly mental. The fact that we took the lead after we missed a penalty, we managed to then take the lead, throw that lead away with a huge mistake, then concede a penalty, they miss a penalty, Rothwell then scores to make it 2-1, then in the space of 4 minutes we then bank 3 more goals past to make it 5-1 in the end. Corone was sensational in this match. That was just an absolutely weird one. Great work off the bench from the guys there, but the key thing is, Esbjerg beat Midtjylland, which means we move back into second spot, but of course in so doing, Esbjerg move into the battle too. 4-0 win for Nordsjælland means that there's now only 3 points between second and fifth. We're in a massive battle. That first leg was a bit of a disappointment for us, honestly, but I feel like all we can do really is go out there and do the exact same thing and hope that we can get some success this time and maybe things will swing our way. I do feel though that our big chance to win this tie was that home leg, and we're going to need an absolute miracle in France. Otherwise, we'll be in for a bit of a winter of discontent. Now, as for the lineup, I'll obviously shuffle things around again because we had that league game, but we should be able to bring back into the team I wanted anyway, so that's actually fine. I rested Silla out. We can go with Silla and Jalonen in there. Clouty, Ilsa's now back in with De Belde, Turnison, Jukanovic, and Corone. That's actually fine. We'll make sure we've actually got we don't have to have a keeper on the bench here. So that's, I think, what I'm going to go with for this game, and just hope that we can pull this off. That is not the system that I was expecting to see from them, honestly. I had them on a 4-2-3-1. This could mean good things for us, potentially. It will allow our fullbacks, if Clouty and Ilsa have a good day, this could be big for us. Here we go. Carlson. Silla. Around the side. Christopher Carlson. He's on his left foot. He's going to have to go for this here, and he does, and it's well blocked by the defender, but we're still in play. Clouty on the ball. Finds a little bit of space on the edge of the box. Whips it all the way through for Ilsa. He might just have to shoot here. Go on, Rene. Have a shot. It's a good save. This is more like it. But again, forcing it long. We can pull out with one of our centre-backs because they've only got 2 up front. Ibule, Carlson, Pritchard's through. Joe Pritchard! Good save from Fayette. My God, he's going to need a hell of a performance today, and I'm worried that he might pull it off. Silla dropping it in. Carlson with the... What on earth? It's in... I don't even know how that happened. It looks like Carlson hit that with the back of his head, and then it's bounced down on the line. I don't know if this is going to count, because I think Turnison might have been in an offside position when the initial header came through. But if this is 1-0 here, it's awarded! Come on! I don't even know what happened here. Carlson's not facing the right direction. Wait. Did that come off the defender to his own crossbar? I think it did, you know. Forcing them back again. Need a good cross now from Ilsa. It's not a bad pass, actually. There's Ibule's header. It's in the back of the net. Holy Christ. Lille 0, Sunioska 2. Georges Ibule with a brilliant header. I just assumed that was going to get caught or go wide. And it's an absolutely lovely header from Ibule and a thoroughly deserved lead. I think our chances in this game really come down to how much longer Lille persist with the system they're currently running. If they switch it at half-time, it could be a very difficult second half. If they don't, then I think we're in a good spot. Ilsa's ball in, although it could get even worse for them as Carlson's header goes wide. Back to goal this time. Terrible pass. Genuinely awful pass. Could cost us dearly here. It might well do. Vidovic with a good first touch. There's no one to stop him, and he's found not the equaliser, but Gabriel Vidovic gets Lille back in the game, all because of a dreadful pass from Silla. That could be terrifying for us. Needless to say, I'm a little bit disappointed that we're only 2-1 up after that. We dominated this game. Their second shot was literally the equaliser right before half-time that we just handed them there. It's just the little thing. That one goal might convince them to stick with their current system, where I think we're playing them off the park. So hopefully they don't change things. I think the key for us is if we can get a third goal before they bite the bullet on a tactical switch, it could make all the difference for us. Clouty goes past one challenge. He's riding more. Zips it through. Silla! Great save again from Fayette. Silla again. Carlson once more. Lindstrom. Loads of runners beyond here. Clouty's in there again. He's done brilliantly today. Ball across. Silla again, and it's blocked once more. We're looking in control, but A 1-goal lead is so slender. It just takes one little error. Abule, Rothwell, Carlson's inside. He's going to have to get the shot away here. Christopher Carlson slots it home. Lille 1, Sunioska 3, 4-2 on aggregate. Another goal for Big CC. That goal is very, very meaningful. Let's bring it out the air, find our wide players, and go from there. Ilsa pops it into Lindstrom. Runners through the middle. One of them is Alassane Silla. Can he wrap it up for us? And he does. It's 4-1 in France. Alassane Silla does a great job of getting forward. He makes up for the other misses. 4-1, and surely we're going through to the next round of the Conference League. That's massive. Now, obviously, there's still the chance that we could concede 3 goals in the next 15 minutes, but they've had a grand total of 3 shots in this match so far, and are still showing no signs of changing their tactical style. Ben Ali. Oh, God. Is this the beginning? Hamdi Ben Ali makes it 4-2 on the night out of nowhere with 20 seconds left. Lille, technically on aggregate, 3. Sunioska, 5. Genuinely, really, really impressed that we've been able to come from France and play as well as this. Now, admittedly, they have been the architects of their own demise by playing that particular style against us, and it has cost them dearly today. They've had, I say have nothing going forward. From an attacking standpoint, they really haven't. They were very fortunate to have the 2 goals they did. We've absolutely played them off the park here on their own ground. That is superb work from us. Really, really deserve that victory, and that does push us through. Benfica did turn it around against Breidablik to win 2-0 or 2-1 on aggregate, so they are still in the draw, but I tell you what, I think we could take pretty much anybody else in this tournament except maybe them, which means we'll now draw them in about 5 seconds from now. You know the teams, basically. It's the same exact ones as before. There's a few extras. So Leicester City, of course they come into it too. A few extra teams do now get thrown in. So, okay, Monaco, Atalanta, Marseille. There are some better sides in it now. Let's just hope we get a good one. Young boys. I think they're beatable. I think we've beaten them already, actually. That might have been with Tromsø. I think that's a beatable tie that will allow us a chance to progress to a quarter-final, and that's really, really key. We get $500,000 for playing in this round, but there's potential to go further than that. There really, really is, particularly when you look at some of the ties we've got in there, with the fact that like HJK and Shamrock are playing each other, EK Sirius and PSV. It's, I don't know, we could go far. And that's what we're hopefully going to do in the next video. We've also got Youth Intake Madness coming along in there too, to see if that Youth Intake turns out as good as I hope. We've got the rest, well, more of like preliminary group, but obviously some championship group in that action as well. I think we've done really solidly today, actually. Staying in the title hunt, staying in the cup. We're going to be through to the quarterfinals no matter what, I would say. We're going to, the semi-finals. We're in a good chance to get to the quarterfinals of the Conference League. This is a good season. Even if it is got some other stuff going on in the background, I'm still fairly happy. So, if you have enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, drop a like. That would be fan-dabby-dozy. 300 would be lovely as well. That'd be gorgeous. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be gorgeous too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, so go follow there too. I'll see you guys very soon. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.